Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. It's late on a Friday, we made it through another week. Woo! Hopefully you guys are going to have a great weekend. So, today's topic is going to be, what would you rather not feel? Or what are you unwilling to feel? Alright, so we'll get to that in a minute. Gonna enjoy some fresh air, the sun's out, kind of really windy, so hopefully the wind's not messing up the audio. But I'm gonna breathe in the fresh air. Let me breathe out the indoor air. Breathe in the nature, breathe out the indoors. Breathe in the clarity, exhale the doubt. So, today I want to talk about emotions, and if you've been following me for a while, I don't really talk about digging deep into the past and all the old traumas. But a couple of coaching calls this week kind of led me to believe that maybe it warrants a little bit more attention. I do believe that Sarna was right, that the brain perceived our emotions as dangerous and thereby needed a distraction or protection from those emotions. I think that's what starts a big percentage of TMS. Not all TMS is that. Sometimes we have a legitimate injury that we worry won't get healed properly, and we can learn or memorize those pain signals, kind of get stuck in a fear or pain loop. But I do think the emotions are key, because if they can create the pain, then they can certainly cause it to flare up, or you get into a big emotional event. Sometimes our symptoms can rise. Why? Because the brain perceives that as dangerous, or the adrenaline and cortisol from that adrenaline rush of the emotions can be interpreted by the brain as, lots of adrenaline, cortisol, something bad's going on, and symptoms can rise. So I think it is important to recognize and allow yourself to feel these emotions. Why? So we can teach our brains that emotions are not to be feared. That I can feel these emotions, sometimes very intensely, and nothing bad happens. I don't know anybody who's ever cried or gotten angry and something bad happened. I'm not saying that acting out your anger cannot cause consequences. I think that's a real thing. And obviously that's fairly prevalent around the world. But what I mean is feeling the emotions for yourself. And when I mean feeling, I don't mean telling the story over and over again. There's a difference between story mode, which is ruminating on why you're pissed off or why you're sad, and actually experiencing those emotions for yourself. So what I'm talking about is experiencing the emotions. And so sometimes you might feel a little bit emotionally stuck, like, I don't know if I'm doing any of this. What are you doing? The screen just cut off. Anyway, it seems like it's still going. Bizarre. So if you're doing any of this emotional discovery, sometimes a really good question to ask yourself, and I'll give credit where credit's due. This came from Nicole Sachs, maybe on one of her podcasts. She asked somebody, what are you unwilling to feel? In other words, if nobody were paying attention and nobody would hear, how do you really feel? What are you unwilling to feel? Sometimes it's things about ourselves, sometimes it's things about our situation in life, whether it be family, partner, ourselves, or self-judgments. What are we unwilling to feel? And that can open up the cork a little bit and say, well, what's in there? What do I need to feel? What's really important to feel? And so I'm just going to encourage you to make a decision up front that these emotions are perfectly normal. They make you a normal human being. They don't make you damaged, weak, broken, insane, or anything. Try not to get lost in the stories, but allow yourself to experience the emotion. Hand on your chest, and what am I feeling? What does that feel like? And if you come up empty, ask yourself, what am I unwilling to feel? And sometimes you'll get some things coming out. And allow yourself to experience it so that it can pass and not stay bottled up where it just kind of accumulates and builds and that negative emotional energy is carried around. Because we don't want to carry all these negative emotions around. By feeling them, they release. That's exactly what emotions were meant to be felt. Meant to be felt. You know, if you want to learn how to feel emotions, watch a 2-year-old. They experience emotions very intensely. If they're sad, you're going to see tears, you're going to see crying, right? If they're angry, they're going to stomp their feet and get angry, right? But a couple minutes later, what happens? Those feelings have been released because they've been felt, and inevitably they can get back to whatever they were doing. And for a kid, it's usually going back to playing and having some fun. So take a lesson from a 2-year-old. Ask yourself, what are you unwilling to feel? Or another question, which is, you know, if I'm being truly honest, how do I really feel about whatever? So, that's all I got for you today. You guys and gals are awesome. I love you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy your Saturday.